You ran out of the dead forest, gasping, out of breath from the long run away from certain doom. You looked back at the top of the hill, where the research facility was supposed to be. What was there instead was smoke coming from what was left to burn. You stood there wondering, how could it all have gone so wrong so quickly? So you thought back to the beginning. It was almost 2 years ago that the Devon Corporation had started making you work at the building in Galar. You were tasked with something truly remarkable. They wanted you to restore life from nothing. Theory said it was unlikely, but not impossible. So you began your research, recollecting knowledge on revives and potions. Eventually, you had a paleontologist uncover a jawbone fossil. And you carefully placed the rock inside this prototype machine you had formed. Against all odds, it had worked, and you witnessed the rebirth of an extinct species. It was a tyrant. And you would find out later that blue wasn't its natural coloration when you had revived its brothers. You revived other Pokemon too. Arcan, Tortuga, and others. You had built a small domain for them to exist inside of. And you studied how these Pokemon from the ancient past behaved and interacted with each other. First thing you noted was that they all appeared to be rock type, or at least part rock type. This might have been because of their revival process from being fossils, meaning improvements needed to be made to the machine. You strangely felt like the blue one was already made aware of this. It didn't group with the others outside. In fact, it preferred being in the lab with you. Not that it liked you. It snapped and snarled out every time you tried to go near it. You tried to force it out outside to play with the other tyrant, but they didn't seem to like it. Sometimes you would find itself staring into a mirror or a reflected surface and seem saddened by what it saw. One of your coworkers suggested that maybe it remembered its past life before it was forced into extinction. Oh my Arceus, it's only a clone, you idiot. Only the genetic material could be replicated, not its memories. How did you end up so stupid? You can now see that the blue one was looking up at you with a sort of pain in its eyes. You don't know why it looked at you like that. At least, not back then. Now you were starting to get a grasp on what that look had meant. It knew what it was long before you ever recognized what your hands had made. But it was too late to realize that coming here was a mistake. Reviving these Pokemon was a mistake. They weren't exact replicas. They weren't even clones. They were abominations. That's what the blue one knew. The ground suddenly shook, and you heard something growl behind you. Twisting around, you were shocked to see the blue one poking its head from behind a tree. Just last week, it had evolved into a Tyrantrum, so you were still getting used to the appearance of it. The blue scales, the feathery beard, the silver crown that glistened in the moonlight. It had conviction and hate filling its snow-white eyes. You started to wonder if you were the idiot as your coworkers' words echoed through your mind. The blue one growled at you, and you wanted to run, but the horrifying face it made crippled you. It approached you slowly, every footstep it made shaking the ground. You closed your eyes, hoping it would be a swift death. But instead, you felt the wind get knocked out of you as you are hit by a violently strong dragon tail. Like a cannonball rocketing through the air, you feel each of your bones break as you smack and crash through branches and twigs before landing against a boulder. You are surprised that you could feel anything below your neck, or that you are still conscious. An Arcan, the first bird Pokemon, had landed on your chest. Along with a few others that arrived, they began nibbling and biting into you. And you were powerless to do anything about it. You looked on at the blue one, and you could have sworn that it was smiling at you.